Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound. We are backstage at Download Festival's pilot event. Look who stopped by. It's the lads from Twin Atlantic. How are you, boys?
We're here.
You're here?
Happy to be here. Yeah,
Can
we're
you
good.
imagine such a thing? Back face to face. What a weird experience this is.
No, I feel slightly out of body. We're kind of just going through the motions. Because it is obviously quite surreal to be
back amongst
like when we handed in my test result, and then you go to another window, and the woman like told me to take my mask off, and that was just like, hey, what do you mean?
Surreal.
So, yeah, all a bit surreal still, but getting into it.
Well, exciting as well, because I guess for you guys, this is like a question I've had to ask so many bands this weekend. You guys put out an album, and then there weren't able to be live shows around that album. So this has got to be, is it one of the first times, or maybe the first time you're actually going to get to play some Power stuff live?
We played.
I think it was only maybe 6 or something shows for that whole album.
Wow.
Really, it wasn't that much.
It was like a handful, because we were on tour the week of lockdown.
Yeah.
Well, the week before. Yeah.
Man.
So we've played it before. We should have said no, because we're not going to be very good at them, and that would have been a good excuse.
Well, did it take a second though, genuinely? Because that's what a lot of people have said of like getting back in the rehearsal room. It was a bit of blowing away the cobwebs, because it's it's been a year really.
Well, we haven't been in the same place, or never mind room, as a band until yesterday.
Wow.
So what was that? 18 months, something like that?
Yeah, and the last time would have been in a venue. It would have been in the Tram Shed in Cardiff when we decided to not play the gig. On the day of the gig, which wasn't a very popular decision at the time, but obviously, what's transpired.
Right decision in the end. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I'm still like grappling for some like points on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, see, I told you.
But, you guys called it. That's all right.
But did we rehearsed yesterday? We ran the set once, and then we ran through the other songs and checked that everything was working. So
how'd it feel?
I feel it's good. That's good. Like we'll just see what happens. It adds a real element of excitement.
Well, I think there's an extra element, isn't there, that like people are just going to be delighted to see you anyway. I'm sure it's going to work. I'm sure it's going to be slick. But like that joy is going to carry you through in a lot of ways, isn't it? It's an extra level of adrenaline than a normal show.
I don't know if I'm going to have. I think I feel like I'm in a weird dream where I'm like, are we playing a show? Are we? Go to stage? What are you talking about?
It's happening, man.
Yeah,
It is happening.
It was only 3 weeks ago we got asked to play, I think, or a month ago.
They put it up in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, they've done it quickly, haven't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely fair play. No, it's really exciting. Going to be great to hear some of those new album songs live. I remember, Sam, when we kind of chatted, one of the many Zoom chats I've been doing over the last year, we were kind of talking a little bit about what might come next. I know that you guys have obviously had a bit of downtime. How much of that has been spent on the writing side and getting things together? I know you had some ideas kind of already pretty formed at that point, right?
Yeah, because we were sort of on tour, off tour, doing promo, working, because we had our own studio in Glasgow at the time. So we were always kind of working on songs, and then basically when lockdown happened, I just took some stuff home to keep myself occupied, and that sort of turned into songs, which then evolved into a group of songs, and the natural thing that will probably come next as a record, because that's just what we do. So
yeah, are you feeling like it's almost at that point yet? Is it still like, running it by the guys and like, kind of figuring it all out?
I think we're still trying to get our head around what the final body of work is, but we have an album, and it's all mixed and mastered. We could put it out. Wow, at that stage already. That's really interesting.
Now, but
it was weirdly all done in the first 6 weeks of lockdown. It's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but like 90% of it was all done. Because we just had an opportunity to work remotely with someone, and it just kind of grew arms and legs, and it was almost like the album almost made itself. Bit of a cheesy one-liner.
No, but that's a nice thing.
It was like running downhill, trying to catch up with the whole process, and even how what our parts were in it and stuff. So it was a bit of a unique way to make a record. I wouldn't want to ever do it that way again, but.
So, I mean, presumably you won't want to give too much away at this point, but like just in general, sound-wise, how do you feel like this one is going to progress on from what we heard on Power?
We were sort of backed into a lo-fi corner.
Okay.
Given it was like in a flat in
Interesting.
Glasgow.
Yeah.
In a tenement flat, versus like our first couple albums, we were working in like Red Bull studios and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a different approach, but also. I was living in a flat at the time, so I like 2/3 of the record I'm having to sing in like a lower register.
Right.
to not annoy the neighbours. So there's a few sort of limitations that but it's interesting if you want to get into that arty kind of like songwriting chat.
I like the idea of you though, like recording songs for a new Twin record and just being like, I still need to be courteous to the neighbours, still need to be polite at all
Absolutely.
times.
Like I'm saying, we live in Glasgow, so the neighbours can be quite
Rowdy.
firm.
I suppose actually in lockdown, the people you want on side are your neighbours.
That's
You
it,
don't
yeah,
want to be
exactly.
getting on there. Boys, I'll let you go because you got to get ready for the show, but genuinely really, really nice to see you. Really excited to hear there's new music on the cards already. That's excellent. And just
Cool.
have a great show today, boys.
Thanks,
all right?
mate. It's
Thank
nice to
you.
meet you.
Good to see you already. All right, Twin Atlantic.